Hello, people of YouTube. Hope everyone's doing well. I just wanted to come on here and give you guys my sort of review on the handy, they call it a SAM 1200 motorcycle ATV lift. Um, as you can see, it's in my garage, and we're going to be lifting up those two bikes at some point, as well as this golf cart. And probably my daughter's going to want to put it on here because I'm going to have that on there eventually. But anywho, so this thing took roughly 7 weeks to get it. I think that's just because we got this through Mile X Equipment in Ohio, and from what they're telling me, they can't build these fast enough in Iowa. This lift is completely, from what they told me and from the research I've done, it's 100% American made, American steel, American hardware. That's what I was told. I have done some modifications to it since I've had it. I've had it about 2 weeks now, I guess. The first time I drove my Street Glide up on this, without having this grip tape, it was pretty slippery because some of the Chinese lifts are using diamond plate. It's like I don't know, I call it a fake diamond plate because it's so thin. It's just for the look, from what I can gather. But this lift, it's pretty smooth. And you can see the reflection. It's pretty smooth, like ice. So the first time I came up on this thing with my even dry feet, it was pretty, I wouldn't say slippery, but it got me a little alarmed that it was going to be, if it was wet, you probably slip. So I got from Amazon 6 inches wide by roughly, I think it was 45 feet long grip tape. And I did it in like 60-inch sections, and I did the ramps. So getting back to the lift quick, when you buy this lift standard, you don't get the side extensions. That's an option. You also won't get the wheel lock, or the wheel, the wheel lock. That's also an option. So I ordered this lift. I ordered the lift, and I ordered the side extensions, which when you order the side extensions, you automatically get the ramps on the rear. And I ordered the wheel lock. I've seen other reviews where guys are using pretty small compressors to power this thing. I was looking for a compressor to put in this garage, small one like everyone else was using, but went on Lowe's.com one night around 10 o'clock just before bed, and I came across this compressor, which was on clearance for it ended up being $167. So it's a 60-gallon, 220 volt, 2-cylinder. Obviously, I ran the lines up over the garage door, and I ran them to a hose reel, and then it goes right to the pedal. Yeah, I tried buying more of these compressors for my buddies, but they were out. I got like the last one, and when I thought it was going to be like a display model or a damaged something, a dent, scratch, whatever. But no, this thing was brand new in the box, brand new in the box. So, all right. So getting back to the lift, the advertised specs on this lift, they say it lifts 1,200 pounds. This lift also goes to a height of 39 inches, which is pretty tall for a motorcycle lift. The other unique thing about this lift, if you haven't done any research on YouTube or online, is that it uses airbags to lift it. There's no actual cylinder, and I'll show you that in a second when I lift it. So it uses airbags, which I think is kind of decent technology because there's not many moving parts when you're lifting, not much to break. I called the manufacturer on the airbags, and I asked them, if there was like a rating for explosion, and they said there is none. They've never had one explode. From what I've also heard and read is that this machine was tested to 30 1,000 cycles on the airbags and no failures. So I'm pretty confident from what I'm hearing and reading and talking to the actual manufacturer that those airbags should hold up for a lifetime as far as I'm concerned. I'm 52 years old, so I'm sure they outlive me. Hopefully not, but who knows? You never know what can happen in life, right? So let's give this thing a lift. I'll show you how this thing goes. So it's got the pedal up and down. Still haven't figured out yet. There you go. So those are that sound you heard was the locks going up. On the way up. Now we'll let it down just to put it on the lock. Okay, so now we're on the locks. So, as you can tell, those are the airbags right there. All these items are all greasable fittings on everything. There's your Made in the USA sticker. The tabletop is 12 gauge steel. Everything here is powder coated as far as the bracing goes. So again, this lift should outlast me. There's your lock. There's your locking system. And this is just a little bit of a tour of the underneath. The welds look all good. Nice construction, nice material. You can tell how thick that material is. A little side note on this thing, why I'm showing you guys this. When this thing comes in the crate, or I should say box, crate, skid, whatever you want to call it, it does come upside down. So good thing I had two friends here to help with the unboxing and flipping of it. And then the actual assembly is next to nothing because it's already assembled. Other than obviously putting on the side extensions, which are in another box, and obviously this wheel clamp is in another box. As far as the wheel clamp goes, there's a little confusion because I thought there was some kind of foam that went on these, and actually there wasn't. So I went back to Amazon and I bought rubber sheet, and I just glued it today actually. So when this glue finally cures, maybe tomorrow, I'm going to trim off all this, excess glue and stuff with a razor and make it look nice. Obviously, this is what you turn it. It just turns that thing in. So again, when you get it, it's upside down. You got to flip it over. You have to install obviously your airline with some tape and stuff. And getting back to the air requirements, they say you need I think 90 to 100 psi. I don't really know how many CFM you need, but I'm guessing any compressor 20, 15, 12 gallon should have enough CFM to power this thing. So I'm going to try to put my Street Glide on this and then show you how it operates with 800. I think this bike is like 840 pounds or 835 or 855, one of them numbers. So I'm going to pause this video. I'm going to go up and down a few more times with this and show you how it works, and then put the bike on it, and then I'll get back to the video and show you how it lifts with some weight on it. But so to release this thing, you have to go back up again, and then you can go underneath this. And here's your lock right here. Unlock it, and then you let it down. Goes down pretty slow. That's okay. You don't want it dropping down anyway too fast. And from what I understand, also, when you put my Street Glide up on this lift, I have no problem with clearance on that hump where the ramp meets the table. They claim, I think, like 5/8 or 3/4 of an inch clearance when you're going up. So, and I can testify affirmatively that I have no rubbing, zero, when I go up, when I drive up this ramp. There's no rubbing, no hitting, no nothing. So that's good. I was concerned about that. I think that's also accomplished with the 30-inch extension ramps. I think if there was a 20-inch, I think most of those Chinese lifts have a 20 or 22-inch. You would have a problem with, I think you definitely have a problem with clearance. Also, this table is also 8 inches off the ground when it's closed all the way, when it's down, closed. Some of the other lifts are 6, 7 inches, but I think that's because of the quality of steel that's used. The thickness of the steel adds to the height. I haven't tripped on it yet, walking around here, walking. I don't foresee myself tripping. I know it's here. When the bike is on it, you definitely know the table's here. So I'm going to pause this real quick, throw the bike up on here, and then lift it and you guys can see how it lifts. Be right back. Okay, we're back with the bike on the lift. I know it's not strapped down because I don't plan on keeping it on the lift overnight, but just for demonstration purposes, I just want to lift this thing, show you guys how it lifts with the weight on the table. Another side note I forgot to mention before was this thing, when it comes by common carrier, weighs in at about 550 pounds, I remember it being. So it's a pretty heavy box. I know when I got it home in my pickup truck, I unloaded the obviously side extensions and the wheel lock. I took all that stuff out of it before, but even with that stuff removed from the pallet, it still was probably around 450 pounds or so with that stuff missing. So let me show you how this thing lifts with it on it and all that good stuff. So right there, we're at full height. Let me engage the lock. Let it down. Now we're on the lock. So this is the bike on the lift. As you can tell, I mean, you're pretty. I mean, everything is like right here. I'm 5'10", 5'11" or so. So everything for me, it's gonna work out perfectly for me to change spark plugs or change the oil or do just cleaning. This thing is dirty. I never cleaned it end of last season. So I gotta clean this thing. It's a disgrace. It's brand new. The other thing I forgot to mention before was that this lift also has the removable plate steel here. So if you jack up the motorcycle, you can actually remove the rear wheel because this comes out. So you can jack up the bike, take out that piece of steel, and then you can drop your rear wheel if you're going to change a tire or whatever reason you have to take a wheel off. I don't plan on doing that. I plan on having my dealer at some point change the tires if ever need be, but it's just nice to have. And then on the way back down again, well, let me show you in a second. Let me do a little walk around with you guys. Looks, it's pretty, it's pretty high up there. So obviously now to let this thing down, you have to go back up to engage the lock, to release it, and then coming back down, it's pretty smooth. It. Go back up again. And back down again. That's the end of that. So, as you can tell, this is going to be perfect for my use. It's going to be perfect for this bike's use. This bike's a little bit lighter. This one is probably 700 pounds or so, 750, or maybe it's 650. I don't really remember. It's heavy for a wide glide. I'll tell you that. It's wide. I mean, wide. It's heavy. But this is even heavier. This is the heavier of the two, that's for sure, without a doubt, 1,000,000%. So I guess if you have any comments or questions, I'll do my best to answer them. Also, I don't work for Handy. I don't get paid by them. I'm not endorsed by them. This was paid 100% on me. I just know that when I was doing research on this lift, the Handy 1200 SAM or SAM 1200, however you want to call it. There were some videos on this, but they were from like 2 years ago. So I know they changed some colors with the ramps and stuff. This thing used to be all gray, and I was surprised when they came black, which I'm happy with the black. I really enjoy, the black colors is fine for me. As you can tell, all my crap is black. This and this. So, yeah, again, any questions, comments, criticisms, or whatever, leave them in the comments section. I'll do my best to answer it. And that's it. So, everyone, have a great rest of your day.